starts right now.
First on the Nightbeat, the chance that the Texas Senate passes House Bill 4 is shrinking after lawmakers punted on the bill in Austin today.
The Senate gavelled in and out today without even discussing that legislation, recessing discussion to Tuesday afternoon and the final hours of the third special session.
House Bill 4 would make it a crime to enter Texas illegally through Mexico and would let police arrest and return migrants back to the border, even if they aren't Mexican citizens. House Speaker Dade Phelan released a statement on the Senate's decision to not take up the bill this evening, saying, and in part, quote, "The security of the border and safety of Texans is far too important to be caught up in the Senate's gears of political machinations."
Phelan hinted the fourth special session could be called and try to get HB 4 passed. Meanwhile, lawmakers are still divided on school vouchers, something Governor Greg Abbott has promised to call more special sessions over if state lawmakers cannot get it done before Tuesday.
Also new tonight, last month's shooting in Maine left 18 people dead and 13 more hurt. It was the worst mass killing in that state's history. Weeks later, we are getting a clearer picture of the person behind that shooting, as well as several failures to report and possibly prevent that tragedy from happening.
It's reminiscent of the failures surrounding the 2017 shooting in Sutherland Springs that left 26 dead on a Sunday morning. The Night Team's Lee Waldman sat down with a lawyer who represents some of those victims and survivors. He says to stop these shootings, we need to enforce laws that already exist.
I'm not supposed to get as close to my clients as I do, but I have a weakness in my personality, and I do get close to them.
6 years ago today, 26 people were killed at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs. George LeGrand represents some of the survivors in a lawsuit against the federal government.
After every one of these events happens, these terrible, terrible events, politicians seem to seize on the fact that, oh, we need to change laws.
In the 2017 shooting at the church, the gunman was able to buy a weapon after the U.S. Air Force failed to report his history of violence to the FBI's background check system. If they had, the former airman wouldn't have been able to legally buy the gun used in the attack.
We need to comply with the laws that are currently on the books. If we did that, we would reduce the number of mass shootings that are taking place.
Weeks following the shooting in Lewiston, Maine, similar failures to report and follow through on already standing laws have emerged.
Their main significant, eerie kind of similarity is that there are laws on the books, that if those laws had been complied with, those two shootings probably would have been prevented.
Maine has what is called a yellow flag law. Passed in 2019, the law allows law enforcement to temporarily detain someone they suspect is mentally ill and poses a threat to themselves or others. In turn, that could trigger a 14-day weapon restriction by a judge, which, following a full court hearing, could be extended to a year-long restriction. This summer, the Maine shooter was hospitalized at a mental health facility following an incident while at a military training in New York. His family also repeatedly reported to law enforcement his deteriorating mental state and the fact he was heavily armed. This September, a deputy went to the gunman's home. The deputy reported hearing noise inside, but no one answered the door. Without making contact, the yellow flag law could not have been initiated.
If those laws have been complied with, then that shooting, more likely than not, would not have occurred because he wouldn't have been capable of performing that terrible, terrible act.
In Maine, conversations are happening right now to strengthen or add additional gun laws in place. But LeGrand says that already existing laws need to be better enforced. Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Happening tomorrow, former President Donald Trump is taking the witness stand in his New York State civil fraud trial. The New York State Attorney General accuses Trump, his sons, and other company executives of inflating the former president's net worth to get better loans and insurance. Both of Trump's adult sons have already testified in the trial, and his daughter Ivanka is scheduled to take the stand on Wednesday. Trump and his sons have denied any wrongdoing in the investigation.
Meanwhile, we're just a few days away from the third Republican presidential debate. While we don't know the exact final list of candidates participating, we do know the stage will be a little less crowded this time around. ABC News reports Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Chris Christie have all met the requirements to participate in Wednesday's debate. But it's still up in the air if Tim Scott will join them on the stage in Miami. Former President Trump again will not make the debate. Meanwhile, Doug Burgum and Asia Hutchinson did not meet the polling requirements to be on the stage, and former President Mike Pence ended his campaign. There is still one more chance to cast your vote in this year's election. That'll be this upcoming Tuesday. This year's ballot has no federal government positions on it, but there are a few local seats up for grabs and more than a dozen Texas constitutional amendments that you can vote on. Just scan that QR code you see on your screen, and it'll take you to a complete ballot breakdown and help you find polling locations near you.
And if you are planning on heading out to any of those polling locations on Tuesday, plan for it to be a little warmer and muggy. In fact, that's been the trend that we've seen this past weekend. Temperatures a little bit warmer, especially compared to where we were this time last weekend after that strong cold front moved through. And that's exactly what we're going to find again for your Monday tomorrow. Because of the increasing humidity, another round of patchy fog is expected for the morning commute. We're going to start off temperature-wise in the low 60s, daytime highs climbing into the low 80s with mostly cloudy skies. Now, as we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday, more of the same, but maybe a touch warmer. I think those highs are going to be able to climb into the mid 80s. But if that's too warm for you, especially for this time of year, we've got another front that's headed our direction, especially Thursday and into Friday. Not only does that bring with it some cooler temperatures for next weekend, but it also introduces a few rain chances back into the forecast. We're going to time it out and get you all those details on the week ahead coming up a little bit later on.
All right, thank you so much, Mia. Well, the winter season is right around the corner, believe it or not, and one local organization is making sure kids in our area are able to stay warm once those temperatures do drop.
Whenever that might happen.
Yes.
Eventually it will. United Way is hosting their 9th annual Project Warmth Coat Drive. Their goal is to get at least 500 coats donated before this Thanksgiving. All of those donated coats will go to families that are served by United Way.
It's going to help countless families, and it's going to provide them, a little bit of comfort during the next couple months.
Donations will be accepted through November 21st at several local coffee shops in our area. Those include the Starbucks at the Quarry, Early Bird Coffee on I-10, and Almost Perk on McCullough.
People can actually go to these coffee shops, get a nice cup of coffee, especially support a small business in the case of Early Bird and Almost Perk, and drop off a coat to help make a difference in a child's life.
And you can also donate by texting Project Warmth to 41444, or you can head over to United Way's website, and you can find a link to their website on ours at KSAT.com. Tonight, a top White House official says the U.S. believes the Middle East cannot return to the status quo and must agree on a new political future for Palestinians.
More than 9,000 people have been killed in Gaza, according to the Hamas-run health ministry, and Israeli officials report more than 1,400 deaths, most of them as a result of that October 7th terrorist attack. ABC's Inez de la Cuttara reports from Israel.
Israel continuing its relentless assault on Gaza. Buildings in flames at the Jabalia refugee camp after another airstrike. On the ground, the IDF saying its troops struck deep in the Gaza Strip and positioned themselves along the coast of Gaza. The Israeli military also saying it discovered an extensive stash of weapons inside a home in the northern Gaza Strip and that its forces destroyed an explosives lab. Meanwhile, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is growing. Medical facilities struggling to keep up with the influx of injured patients lining the halls.
It is full of patients. No any vacant place to admit to inpatient department, as you see. Still, always, it is the same scene.
The UN says nearly half of hospitals in Gaza are no longer functioning. Doctors at the Al-Shifa hospital working by flashlight with no electricity or fuel to keep the lights on. The Biden administration is calling for a humanitarian pause in the fighting in order to get aid into Gaza, as well as to help the roughly 240 hostages out.
Mr. President, any progress on the humanitarian pause? Yes.
Though Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said there will be no ceasefire unless all the hostages are released. A top Biden administration official says the U.S. believes it must support Israel in its current military operations and that Gaza cannot be allowed to be a platform from which terrorist acts can be conducted against Israel. But he adds the U.S. also supports a political future for Palestinians living in Gaza and the West Bank.
And that means resuming the urgent work of giving a political horizon to the Palestinian people which to President Biden means a two-state solution.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken delivering that message to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas during a surprise visit to the West Bank. Inez de la Gutera, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Back here at home, police are investigating an early morning apartment shooting on Culebra Road. Investigators say the victim was shot in the face after he got into a fight in the parking lot of the Westway Apartments. By the time police got there, the man believed to be the shooter was speeding out of the parking lot. They tracked that driver down and arrested him. Meanwhile, the victim was rushed to the hospital with some serious injuries.
Bexar County Medical Examiner says 29-year-old Hyman Lopez was the man who was found killed behind a laundromat on Friday. Police found Lopez's body behind that laundromat on Culebra in North Zarzamora with a gunshot wound to his head. They ruled his death a homicide. They're still looking for whoever did it. Police say there were no witnesses, but they're looking through surveillance video to try to track down the killer. If you know anything about the crime, you're asked to call San Antonio Police immediately.
San Antonio Police also investigating an East Side drive-by shooting. Investigators say a 27-year-old man was walking down Avon Avenue early this morning when a truck drove by and someone inside shot at him several times. He was hit in the leg and was taken to a nearby hospital where he is expected to recover. Meanwhile, police are still searching for that truck and the people or person inside. Still ahead on the Nightbeat, Sunday, November 12th is Stand Sunday. It's where churches nationwide pray for foster children and learn about how to help them. A local pastor who was a foster child herself explains many ways there are to help foster kids. And it's the first time it's happened in over a decade. Prisons across the state now reopened after being on lockdown for weeks. KSAT Investigates takes you inside a maximum security facility to see the problems that led to that shutdown firsthand.
Coming up next, construction is giving some residents in Converse a real headache. It's all in an effort to eliminate traffic, but one nonprofit told KSAT the solution is coming at a cost. We'll talk about it.
Some major construction in Converse is causing some major headaches. Crews are working to expand Rocket Lane to alleviate traffic there. But as one nonprofit tells our Daniela Ibarra, the construction is coming at a cost.
Behind these gates is a safe space.
So we typically have around 40-ish dogs at a time, 60 cats.
Leslie Grimes is the president of the Converse Animal Shelter. It's a nonprofit, no-kill shelter in Converse that helps the city's shelter.
We like to pull from them to help their cause, to help them become no-kill as well.
But Grimes says the city hasn't returned the help.
I don't think they know how much this has impacted us. We've had a drop in donations and adoptions. It's really hard for people to get out here.
The shelter says this construction has made it difficult for people to get to the front entrance to drop off their donations.
We've had one donor actually fall and break their leg and had to have surgery due to this construction.
Once the work is done, Grimes says the shelter's entrance will have to be moved.
This right here is what we're going to have taken out, these 3 runs right here, so that we can have an entrance from the parking lot into our shelter.
She says it'll cost around $11,000 just for demolition.
I've tried contacting the city manager several times. I know our volunteers have as well.
We have heard from the animal rescue on Rocket Lane that they've had some conflicts with the construction.
Converse Assistant City Manager Howard Kuntz says he knows it's frustrating.
Never been a part of a capital project like this in my nearly 20 years of working in local government.
He says there's been some delays due to weather and admits it'll still be a while until it's finished.
Right now, we're thinking best case scenario is probably going to be late spring.
Grimes says the shelter just wants to be heard.
We kind of feel like we are being forgotten about and tossed aside.
Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Kuntz says the Converse Animal Shelter is welcome to call him. He also mentioned the option of going there to speak with shelter administrators. Grimes says that hasn't happened yet.
Hopefully they'll figure things out.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, turning to the weather. I was wondering why I was so tired right before the show started. It was like, oh, this is
'cause
normally
it's
when
hot
we would
again.
be ending the show.
Well,
that whole time changed.
So did you get an extra hour of sleep though, Tim?
No, apparently not.
I guess
you have a dog and I have a kid. Like, it doesn't work
Body
that way.
wakes me up. I'm old.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have a Tim Gerber.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wake up, old man. Time to go.
I didn't say it. You did.
Okay, so yes, daylight saving time officially came to an end 2 a.m. earlier this morning. Hopefully you did get an extra hour of sleep, but if not, you definitely noticed that the sun rose an hour earlier and it also set an hour earlier. I want to show you this picture for a few different reasons. This is an absolutely beautiful photo of the sunrise this morning from our friend Skywatcher. Absolutely beautiful colors, but look at the bottom of the photo. Just ahead of the caption there, you can actually see the fog that developed in some of the valleys there in between the hills. That is generally what's been kind of the big story this weekend. Yes, it's been a little bit warmer than what we saw last week, but also we've started to see the moisture work back in as well. So we've had some areas of patchy to even dense fog this morning and even yesterday morning, and I think tomorrow that's going to be the theme yet again in and around the San Antonio area. So by 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, as you're stepping out on the roadways for the Monday morning drive, you are going to want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. Take it slow and use the low beams. If you do come across some of those pockets of lowered visibility, you can see though by 9 to especially 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, that is expected to dissipate and then mostly cloudy skies take us throughout the remainder of the day. That moisture though, it's just going to stick with us as we head into the middle of the week as well. In fact, dew points actually could climb just a little bit more Wednesday and into Thursday, but then we see that next front work in just ahead of the weekend, and that looks to bring in another batch of some cooler and drier air. We'll have more on that in just a second, but this is the reason why we're seeing the humidity return. We've got an area of high pressure anchored off to our east. With where we sit in relation to that high pressure system, winds here at the surface are now moving in from the south. So that just opens the door for more of that Gulf moisture to stream back into south central Texas, and why areas of patchy fog are expected yet again first thing tomorrow. All right, now let's talk temperatures. Low 60s expected by 7 o'clock in the morning, around 63 here in the Alamo City. Here are those mostly cloudy skies that take us into the afternoon. 76 degrees at lunchtime, daytime highs topping off in the low 80s here in town, around 82 for us here officially in San Antonio, 81 in Canyon Lake, 80 in Comfort, 82 in Hondo, and 83 over in Divine. Temperatures could build a little bit by Tuesday and into Wednesday. We're in the mid 80s, which is about 10 degrees above average for this time of year. But then we see that next front move in. Right now it's looking like Thursday evening, and then we start to see some of that cooler air work in for next weekend as well, with highs then returning to the 60s. So here's that setup, because not only are we expecting some cooler temperatures, but also some rain chances to finally return to the forecast. So we've got all that Gulf moisture in place, but by the middle of the week, we're going to start to see some Pacific moisture as well as some pockets of upper level energy work into the Lone Star State there as well. So when you combine those two things together with this front now working its way into Texas, by late Thursday, that's when we're expecting some scattered rain and storms to accompany the boundary, linger into overnight Thursday and into Friday morning before that then pushes farther off to the south. So here's a look at your rain chances. These likely will change just a little bit as we really fine tune the exact timing of when this front's going to move into the area. But right now we'll call it about a 40% potential again, especially later in the day Thursday night and into early Friday, with those temperatures then falling into the 60s as we look ahead to next weekend. By the way, some chilly mornings there as well, back into the 50s for those low temperatures. But until then, yes, you will notice the humidity a little bit more in the days ahead. Those lows climbing through the 60s and highs still in the 80s, guys.
Yes, this weather currently is offensive, and it's not a good birthday present for our producer Ross, whose birthday is today, and Tim Gerber, whose birthday is tomorrow.
And we missed Mary, who we'll see coming up
yes,
here.
it was her birthday yesterday.
And the trifecta of November birthdays this weekend.
Love it.
We'll check in with Mary right after this. The Dallas Cowboys have shown some consistency recently after a hot and cold start to their season. Today, the team traveled to Philadelphia with hopes of slowing down the top team in the NFC. With more on that, here's Mary Rominger with a preview of Instant Replay.
Yes, and tonight was a great opportunity to steal a win in a tough environment. And the Cowboys were up 17-14 at halftime, but the Eagles scored 2 touchdowns unanswered out of the intermission, and Dallas just couldn't close the gap.
Prescott. Pressure. He's in trouble. He's sacked. Josh Sweat gets home and there's no timeouts.
Dak Prescott needed 86 yards in 46 seconds for the potential game-winning score, but sloppy play squandered the Cowboys' walk-off attempts.
They just made a lot of efforts, sometimes more than us. Yeah, they took advantage of our mistakes. We're gonna watch film and all get better as a team.
That's pretty much all Wemby had to say after this one. The other night in Phoenix, the Spurs let the Suns back into the game, but were able to regroup in time to get the win. But not the case today, as Toronto overcame a 22-point deficit and beat San Antonio in overtime.
6 defensive backs in there for the Buccaneers. Stroud looking. Deep ball. Hold in. Takedown.
That pass and catch not only set up the Texans' game-winning touchdown, but broke a rookie record as C.J. Stroud racked up 470 passing yards when it was all said and done. And the Texans running back just made some NFL history, doing something that hadn't been done in almost 20 years. The UTSA football team is on a 5-game winning streak. The Roadrunners and 7th-ranked Texas Longhorns are bowl eligible. And the second season of the high school football season is about to kick off this week. The playoffs begin on Thursday. Instant Replay is live starting at the top of the hour.
Lots to talk about. That Houston game was crazy.
Yes.
Running back, kicking, all sorts of crazy stuff. We'll talk all about that. We'll see you a little bit later. Thanks, Mary. And we'll see you right after this as the Nightbeat continues.